And we are live. Welcome, everyone. My name is Niki Lopez of Niki Lopez Creative, and you're watching The Circle every Tuesday, 8:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm talking to artists, activists, social entrepreneurs, people doing great things in the world today. And I have a very special guest and friend tonight. We have Ted Davis. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and I've always enjoyed the Circle for many years since you've been doing it, and I'm honored to be here and to chat with you this evening. So thank you.
Thank you so much. The feeling is mutual. So honored to have you on. So we're live in a few places. We are live on Facebook under Niki Lopez Creative. We're also live in the Facebook group The Circle. We're live on YouTube and Periscope, and once this is recorded, it gets uploaded to your favorite podcast. So you can catch out the replay. So just jumping in, Ted Davis is a visual artist. He's also the owner and curator of TeddsARTWorks Gallery, the owner of Ted Davis Events, and also was affiliated with Wolftrap Foundation for the Performing Arts. So I know there's a much longer list, but that's still a lot. So, let's just jump into it. What was your start to your creative journey?
Well, I think I must have got hit by lightning at a young age. I don't know, but no, I grew up in Philadelphia, and I've always knew that I had a vision to be creative and to do creative things, and but that didn't happen till later on in my life. So, because I was busy getting established as a young man, as a gay man, as through my teenage years, to earn a living, make some money. And then, I've always been inspired by others that I've seen who are creatives. And, I would walk past an art gallery and I'd admire the artwork, or I'd go to a performance and I admire the art, the concert or the dance, or, I even liked a ballet once in a while, So I enjoyed those things. And, as a kid, I didn't have any money to go to the theater, so I would just hang up on stage door and sneak in, so I was able to see these performances as a young kid, which I really enjoyed. But in my creative journey, it started in my later years as I was a professional, and I wanted to release some stress. So, instead of coming home, you have to you work all day and you come home and you want to unwind. So instead of having a glass of wine or a beer, I would do some artwork and dabble in this and that. And I found that the type of art that I liked to do was more of constructions. I always loved Louise Nevelson and Joseph Cornell, and I loved recycling and using found objects, because when you don't have any money, you use found objects. So that was there were always things available to create art with, and that just led into being my creative force, and what I've learned to do. And it took many years, and I still am my worst critic, as we all are as artists, for sure. Mm-hmm. But I just enjoy it. So,
when people talk about imposter syndrome, which I feel I have, I say, I'm in good company. Einstein and Maya Angelou has it. So
there we go, right?
Yeah. So we have a couple of comments. We have Jane and Trish saying hello. Ted.
Hi, Jane and Trish.
Yes. And
thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we have Sylvia Aimson. Good evening, Nikki and guests. Yes.
Hi, Sylvia. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, absolutely. What would do you have, because you said you do a lot, do you still do a lot of found objects in your work?
Yeah, I still do these constructions. As a matter of fact, I'm trying, like right now with COVID and stuff, I'm trying to keep my art out there. So I just entered a couple pieces in the Broward Art Guild, and there's a piece in Art Serve. So I'm constantly just trying to keep the art out there, and we do have time to create because we're laying low, so I've been able to create, although there were days where you didn't want to create anything because you were worried about the world and where we're going to go. But I'm very optimistic that we're going to be even better than ever. And I hope soon. Give me a shot.
Yeah, you have some people we're waiting to get back to normal, and some people are adapting. There is no normal to get back to. We have to create that new normal. So there's a lot to think of and consider as we move forward. So
exactly.
Yeah. Is there any particular narrative that's consistent that you explore in your work, or?
Well, I like to portray things that sort of tell a story. A narrative is telling a story, and with my artwork, for example, one of my pieces that I have as my favorite is it has a dog coming out of it, and running up this dog's leg is a mouse or a rat. And my husband and I were home one night, and his mom was with us, and there was a mouse in the house, and the dog's running all around. We had I think at that time we had a yellow lab or something, and the dog's running all around the kitchen. And she's up on a chair, I'm up on a chair, and Brad's up on a chair, and the dog's running around. She says, "Grab the dog." So it just so happened I had these pieces of found objects of a dog and this mouse and a bird, because I like to use birds, and just all these crazy pieces that I created this construction, and it's called Grab the Dog. So I don't know, sometimes it depends on what I find, and I have boxes and boxes of stuff that I've picked up, and so I rummage through them. I'm not an organized person where you're going to have your beads in one thing and your your buttons in another. I have them all together, and I like to go through and pull out and lay things out. So
I'm just I love hearing that, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going to get organized, and it's just you know what, that's not happening.
I'm too busy to be organized. That's what I say. I'm too busy to be organized.
Yeah. Sometimes we have to just let go of these things that, there's some things you could change, and some things you just have to kind of really embrace. Hey, that's who I am. Creative chaos.
But I do know where everything is.
I was just going to say that.
Right?
I can have everything, and I'm like, wait, someone moved something slightly.
Exactly.
So. Yeah. So, I know you had the art gallery for a while. Can you tell us a little bit about the art gallery? When did it start? What made you start the gallery?
I started the TeddsARTWorks in Wilton Manors. So I just closed after 6 years, so it was 2014. I closed in June of 2020 due to the COVID. I didn't want to have the gallery because I didn't want to sit there and be depressed or worried or alone, or I didn't know what was going on. Plus, while I did like the location, there was always trouble with parking luckily when I had my openings there was plenty of parking, because it was always on a Saturday night where the other businesses were closed. But during the week there wasn't as much traffic. Parking was always an issue a little bit. So I thought the best thing for me to do is to close it. I didn't want to waste the money. I wanted to save the money and keep it going in the bank for reopening the gallery in 2021, 2022, but soon, hopefully, when it's safe, because I don't want to jeopardize the public, the artists, or anything. I want to be able to enjoy the way a gallery should really be, where you can drink your wine, you can laugh, you could hug, you could kiss, you could shake hands, So for the time being, I closed the gallery and I opened TeddsARTWorks.net, which is an online gallery. But going back to the gallery, you asked me, when I started the gallery, my objective was to present established but emerging artists within the community, because I wanted to give people a chance that didn't really have the artistic talent, or they did have the artistic talent, but weren't really discovered, or they need to be discovered. They didn't have their name. They didn't have the confidence. They didn't have somebody that supported them and said, "Hey, we're putting your work in with these well-known artists from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or from Broward County," and that's been a key to my success because I've developed so many wonderful relationships, and in presenting these exhibits, I did one a month. I've exhibited over 100 artists at the gallery. 1 second. I exhibited over 100 artists at the gallery in 6 years. Partnered with many organizations and did exhibits with their work. So, hundreds of artists have graced the walls there, and it's been very exciting for me as a presenter of art, visual arts.
Mm-hmm. And we have a comment. Jane is saying, "We miss your gallery and all the wonderful events. We hope we can open again soon." Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jane. I do too. We'll be back. I may be doing a little satellite thing here or there around town, so you never know, but we'll see.
And we do have a very short clip of the gallery, so I'm gonna load that up and share with everyone here. Let's see.
The energy of the gallery. I think this protects it very well.
Yes, absolutely. So let's go. Yeah.
And that was then, but this is now. It's coming up, baby. So just get ready.
I know.
But I really want to do a shout out there to my friend and the most beautiful person that I know, who has been with me all the years since I started the gallery. It's Fabricio Cruz. He is an extraordinary human being, and I just adore him. And he is a force. He is an art force and a creative force, and he is a wonderful human being. So.
And we have Jane saying, "We appreciate how supportive you've been for the local arts community."
Well, thank you so much. And I still try to be supportive. Another thing that I started during this, when I closed the gallery, I'm sitting home and what am I going to do? So I'm going to do the TeddsARTWorks online. But then I thought, well, how can I help my fellow artists in this community? So I developed a platform called Off the Wall. And Off the Wall is, it's like art off the walls because there is no wall to put the art. But we present a local artist, tell a little bit about the artist, their bio, their story, and a couple how you survive and what are you doing, what are you painting, what are you eating, what inspires you, how are you helping others during this pandemic. And to date, I've featured over 50 artists. Wow. And with that, the artists put up 2 to 3 pieces of their work. It's for sale, and it's promoted through my email list and my Instagram, Facebook, plus there. So they sell the art. They get 100% of the proceeds, which supports them. Hopefully, I'm hoping people buy the art, which, some do. It all depends. But at least it's out there and it's in the universe and it's helping my fellow artists and people in the community.
And I think that's something that seems to be definitely underlying with, the work that you do, and just you as a person, just always just so open to help someone. And especially times like this, everyone's suffering. And, not that there isn't who's suffering the most. But the creative community definitely got an impact. If we can't do shows, if we can't show work, if we can't produce programming, last March, I literally had 4 art residencies. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm counting those dollars, and I'm like, bye.
0. I know.
Yeah.
It was depressing. But when you're dealt with that type of thing, you have to survive and you have to be strong and be creative, and you just got to continue. And the sun's still shining, You just got to sit in it and enjoy the race until it's, I don't know. To me, I just try to think positive with the minute I wake up. I had my down days where I think 2 days in the last year, I went and laid in the bed because I was depressed with the virus and the news and the uncertainty and stuff. And that is like beyond my character. The only time you ever see me in the bed during the day is if I'm definitely ill. So, but
Absolutely. And I see someone in the Facebook group asking, can you share the show? You can share it, but you cannot share it from the Facebook group for some reason. So if you go to the actual page, Niki Lopez Creative, you'll see the video and you could share it there. Please do consider sharing it because, there's a lot of people that may want to check this out. And so yeah, if you go to the Niki Lopez Creative Facebook page, you'll see the video and it has a share link. So I think that's Tanya. So thank you, Tanya, so much. What are some of the challenges and highlights for running a gallery?
Well, the challenge of a gallery is selling art. I mean, art's on the wall, it's beautiful. But I always said to myself, and to people, artists, friends and stuff, an art gallery is like a basket of ramen, 57 varieties. You got to have something. You have to have art appeals to different people in different ways. So, I mean, people see a piece of work, it resonates with them. They say, oh, I got to have it. And then, you got the sale. Then you get the people, oh, I got to think about it, blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes they come back, which is great. But that's really the only challenge. I mean, I never really had many challenges because I didn't look for them. You know what I mean? I never let one. I mean, I'm sure there are I had challenges, but I never really looked for the negative. I always tried to find what I was just moving forward with the energy, and the art to me in a gallery is very energetic, and you create a vibe the way it is curated. The group of artists, there's a certain energy that is felt by people when they walk through the door. Like, when I would curate the show and hang it, that's the different exhibit, I would spend hours and hours because I needed to have that energy by looking around the room and you look at that wall, it's fabulous. And blending these artists' work together is a key. So I think being creative with your space and how you present the art, and don't look for any challenges is a key to success.
And I love that there's not just something for everyone there, but something for everyone's price point. So you'll have a piece that's $100, $75, $200, and you have a piece that's $2,000 or more. So. Exactly. I love the fact that you have, that mixture of, different levels of artists, but also different price points, because it makes it a lot, it makes it pretty accessible for people who want to start to collect or who want to I want to buy a piece of art, but you go into an art gallery, everything's thousands of dollars.
No, I think art is something that needs to be accessible to all, and not only with the price point, but I do believe the sizes of art, like a 12 by 12 or small piece, 5 by 7, just so people can have something. If they like it, they could take it home because they have the space to put it. Or some people need a big piece of art, but some people don't. They need a small piece of art. So I think size is important in an exhibit and a curated art show. Yes. Variety.
Yeah. And that space, it just from how you curate the work, and it's just so much work. It's a small, it doesn't feel small when you're there, but it's you pack a lot of art in the gallery, and then you have this, the performers, you have Fabrizio, all these things going on. So it's just all of your senses, are engaged when you walk into an exhibition of this. So that's pretty amazing.
And another wonderful thing was the support of the community. I mean, the gallery was accessible to everyone. And my motto was, everyone is welcome in that gallery, no matter who, what, where, when, whatever. But it was a space where it was a great sense of community and people and diversity, and that's what created this beautiful energy. And
Mm-hmm.
people became, people wanted to come. They know one another. They know who expected to see. They know they were surprised. They were delighted. So there was a lot of neat
Mm-hmm.
things that, but it was the community,
Mm-hmm.
and they knew that, I felt that people knew that they would always find consistency in the venue and in the people that were there, and always, always top of the line, number one thing of being a gallery owner, you make anybody that walks in that door feel like they're special and welcome and hello. Whether you gotta work the room, you gotta go around, make everybody, even though you want to talk to 5 other people over here and they're asking you questions, you just got to remember that, but remember the people that walked in that you didn't even see. It's very
Mm-hmm.
important.
Mm-hmm.
Acknowledge
Yes. Yeah.
building loyalty and friends.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely get that. Yeah, I definitely got that energy and that welcoming vibe being there. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So, let's dive in a little bit to the Wolftrap Foundation for Performing Arts.
All right. Wolftrap Foundation for the Performing Arts is, they're a partner with the National Park Service.
Mm-hmm.
So Wolftrap National Park for the Performing Arts is the only national park in the country that is dedicated to the performing arts. And there, Wolftrap, it's a beautiful outdoor national park. It's open to the public, but Wolftrap does the programming there during the summer season. It's sort of like a Tanglewood or Ravinia, Red Rocks. It's an outdoor theater. It's beautiful. This year will be its 50th anniversary. So the foundation does the programming there, which one night it could be Yo-Yo Ma, the next night Patti LaBelle, the next night it could be the Joffrey Ballet, the next night it could be Sheryl Crow, so it's very diverse programming, and it appeals to everyone's taste that enjoys the arts. And then you could have a musical, a run of a musical, Rent, for example, for 3 days, and Les Miserables, whatever. But it's very diverse, and it runs for about, I think about 110 performances during the summer season now. In addition, the foundation, in addition to the programming there, they have the Wolftrap Opera Company, which is a world-renowned opera company that brings in these amazing, talented opera performers that go on to the Met and other established careers in the operatic world.
Mm-hmm.
They also have the Institute for Early Learning through the Arts, which is a program that is all national, all over the country, Wolftrap Institute for Early Learning. So they do a lot of work in education and things throughout the country. It's a wonderful organization. I worked there 20 years. I knew the founder. I was fortunate enough to know the founder. So I worked there 20 years full time, and then I left to start my own business, Ted Davis Events, and that's a whole other chapter in my life too. So
That's awesome. Well, yeah, I think that's the perfect time to kind of jump into Ted Davis Events. What is it? When did you start it?
Well, I started Ted Davis Events. Let's see, so 2008, no, 2000. I don't know the exact year, but say I've been doing it. Well, I left 2008. 2008. So 2008.
Mm.
So, and what was especially was nonprofit events and fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
So I would help a nonprofit organization, whether it be a couple of my clients were the Montner Project, which is a national lesbian health organization. So I would produce their gala. I would help them raise funds, produce a gala for 1,000 people, Washington, D.C. social event, bring in the performers, the venue, anything that had to do with organizing and orchestrating an event.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had, Duke Ellington School of the Arts, which is an art school. We had the Legacy series, which I worked with them in coordinating the. I would do the logistics and the registration and ticketing for performance series of legends, which we had Stevie Wonder, we had Earth, Wind and Fire, we had Patti LaBelle, we had Bobby McFerrin, Denise Graves. We did a lot of wonderful performances at the Kennedy Center at Strathmore Hall, Sting and Paul Simon, and raised a lot of money for the school, which is a DC public school for the arts, Duke Ellington School. So they were one of my clients for many years. And then I had clients that weren't necessarily, well, they've always been nonprofits. So Photo Week DC, I was for many amazing celebration of photography throughout DC for several years that we had all over the city photography projections on the buildings and on museums. So I was a part of that team and orchestrated Photo Week Central, which was the hub and venue for everybody to come in and see the photography and lecture series and whatnot. I freelance with PR agencies, producing fashion shows, you name it, I've done it. Yeah. But
Wow.
Then I did a lot of pro bono work for PFLAG, helped them. The Trevor Project event, raising money for them, was collaborating with my friends, and we did these events for nothing, just to help the organization. It's not always about the money. It's about giving back to the community. And the main thing is you really, when you do these events, that I found in all my career in doing events, how many lives that you touch. Mm-hmm. So if you're helping, I have Montgomery County Council for the Homeless, which is an organization, I help them with their gala. So they're raising, $500,000 that evening. So how many lives are you helping to touch by helping them raise that money? So it's a wonderful thing to be able to say that, oh, I work for this organization, I touched 1,000 people's lives, that where they give it, or the beneficiaries of the organization. So.
Well, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you, like, what do you get out of it? What draws you to that type of work? But I guess, that's part of, some of that reward, knowing how many people you impact.
And, nonprofit world is not a big money making area to make money. So, but, it's not all about the money. And so, I mean, if you have a lot of clients, and all my clients have been repeat clients year after year after year. So the nice thing about that is it's consistent work, and you have it for years after years, the same client. Mm-hmm. So that's a benefit of it. And the other benefit is your word and your reputation within the community. It spreads around because the nonprofit sector of professionals is a very small community, and everybody knows one another, whether you're working for National Geographic in development or you're working for the the Helen Hayes Awards for development. Everybody knows one another in the DC. I know in the DC community. Mm-hmm. Now, when I moved to Fort Lauderdale, I didn't want to compete or get into the events business here. Mm-hmm. So, and I've been living here for 8 years, but I do fly back to DC to do with my clients there. It's like a 2-hour flight. But so I thought, well, what am I going to do here? I'm not going to be doing these events. And that's why I opened up the art gallery. Mm-hmm. And I did dabble in art. I did art exhibits in DC for myself. And it was, there was a venue, this very old church that was empty. And every year it was called Pleasant Grove. And every year I would do Pleasant Groove. And I would pull together like 20 artists, and we'd do a show there for the weekend. And so that's when I really started producing these art events. So.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What is something that you feel people may not know about you if they feel like, oh, I know Ted, he's got the gallery, he's got this. What is something that you feel comfortable sharing that people may not know?
Well, if you don't know me, you're missing out. If you don't know me, you're missing out, because I love it. I enjoy meeting everybody, and I always find the beautiful qualities in people that I meet. So, don't get me wrong, you meet some people, you're like, well, whatever. or you don't want to be associated with, but overall you try to find the beauty in everyone and their qualities, and you. But as far as to know something about me, no, there's not really not much to know. Just come talk to me. I'm approachable. How about that?
Yeah, yeah. Which is is very refreshing. Whether it's the art world, the events world, nonprofit world. Yeah, being approachable is definitely a gift.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What would you say to someone who is trying to go down that path that you're on in terms of, curating art shows and doing events and things like that? What are some advice that you could give to them?
Well, the advice that I would give to somebody would be you got to work hard. Don't be afraid to do anything.
Mm.
Be don't be afraid and don't say you can't do this, because you can do whatever you want. I've learned that I really learned that I can do anything if I really concentrated on and put it together. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I had the confidence. You have to have confidence. And don't give up if you have a dream. I still have a million dreams, and I'm getting old. Like what's going to be next? But I just always, even growing up, I've always learned to find a way and to have the confidence. And like I said, the challenge, don't have time for the challenges. I just got to keep going forward, and if there is a challenge, you push it aside. So, but I think, and the main thing is that your reputation precedes you. So no matter what you do, you put 100% of your best in it and develop a wonderful reputation as the kind of person you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And how you would want to be treated, how you would like to be treated, treat others, for sure.
Mm-hmm. What is a good way for people to get in touch with you? Like we shared your Facebook and your Instagram. Do you have a preference for either one?
Either way, I'm approachable. Either way, you can send me an email. You can go to the website TeddsARTWorks.net. You could Facebook, Instagram, very approachable. And if there's some artists out here that would like to be featured in Off the Wall, I'd love to do that. With Ted's Artworks, that started in June, and I now have 20 artists, and every 3 months I refresh the website, give it a new look, add a couple new artists.
Oh, wow.
And the former artists bring in some new works, and I keep some old works, but every 3 months it's got to be refreshed because I have to have the energy of newness. Even though people don't see the site every day, I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to have it constantly changing and refreshed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have any self-care practices or downtime things that you enjoy?
Well, my downtime things are my dog, which I can't get enough of. Walks every day, hanging out. My downtime going in to my studio, walking down the beach. I need to sit by the ocean and meditate. I enjoy that. And I enjoy reading and going online and seeing what other people are doing and, how the world is surviving through this pandemic. What are some of the survival tactics right now that, art galleries are doing and humans are doing and people are doing to cope? I found online and I'm constantly developing more. But I can't wait I'm an extroverted person, as you know, and I need to be around people. So it's been hard. So, and I have a beautiful husband. For my husband, we've been together 40 years, my partner and I. So 40 years. And we were supposed to have a big celebration last 2020 May, which was our anniversary, but we'll celebrate all year this year. Whenever we're ready, we're going to just blow it out the roof. So, but I've been very blessed to have a beautiful companion and someone that understands me and puts up with me. My craziness, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a beautiful thing. Absolutely.
Yes, blessed.
If you had access to a time machine, where would you go and why? The past or the future?
I would go in the future
Mm-hmm.
because the future is made up of everything from the past.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it, there are components of the past in every segue moving into the future. So, plus, I like exploring the unexpected, and that's been my motto too with the gallery. Expect since I started, expect the unexpected because it's been one of my slogans. So the future is important, and I think that the future is the way to go. And I just hope humanity can get their shit together and appreciate the world and the future of people and human beings and life
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
and the planet for sure.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. What's next for you?
What's next for me? Well, I'm going to reopen the gallery, but I need to wait. You know, I don't want to just do it because I want to be safe for me, the community, and I want to feel good about doing it. So, I mean, there's no rush to do it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy doing what I'm doing now. I have an idea for a book that I've dabbled in, so that could be down the road. I'm not going to retire because I don't believe in not doing anything because, like I said, I'm an extrovert. I need to be around the people. I'm like a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
So I need that energy, and that's what keeps you young.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there's a lot of things for me coming up. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Stay tuned.
they'll come.
Yeah. Yeah. And how is that? Because you say you're an extrovert. Like, how are you coping with this? Like, are you doing Zoom? Are you?
Doing Zoom, doing calls, but and keep it like with this off the wall. I'm in touch with the artists. You know how you doing? Blah 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 blah. So constantly through through virtual and communications. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Awesome.
So
That's awesome. Well, it was just such a pleasure to have you on and to share.
I can stay on a whole hour because I love being here. I can tell you a whole bunch of stories, but I won't do that. You know, that's what old people do. But
No, I enjoy it. Yeah.
but I'm honored to be here tonight, and I thank you so much, Nikki. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes we do go over, we're a little bit over, but that's fine. People are still online, people still, rocking with us. So it's
But yeah,
all good. Yeah. But yeah, it's just great to have you on. Great to, happy to know you. I'm happy to have said that I've been in a couple of your shows. And
yes.
you talk about when you said expect the unexpected. I remember there was one art show and I was in there. It could have been the first one that I was in. And afterwards you're like, okay, let's walk over here. So we're gonna do an open mic. Here, you do something. I'm like,
Oh, exactly. That was so much fun.
yeah, it was fun, but it's just like you catch me because sometimes I like to play like an introvert. I think I'm probably a little both. I don't know. I'm
Right.
a little both and everything in between. But you're like, here, get on the stage. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Well, there you go. And
Yeah.
thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Whoever's here, I don't know, but I appreciate your support too. So
Yes, absolutely. We have people that's online. We have people. Thank you to all the people who are watching, who threw in a comment. Um, to the regulars, definitely Jane and Trish and Sylvia. There's a
yes,
few
thank
people
you.
that's always on. And also to the people who's going to catch it on the replay. So this will be on YouTube. This will be on Facebook. This is going to be on Spotify and iTunes. So definitely thank you so much. Um, for being here. This program, the circle, is brought to you by Niki Lopez Creative and What's Your Elephant. And What's Your Elephant is a movement that uses the arts to create a safe space to talk about everything unspoken. So if you enjoyed the program, you want to find out more about what I'm doing, different shows that I'm doing, you can go to what'syourelephant.org and find out more. You can also go to Linktree, Niki Lopez 19. And I've already shared the text, the comments, where you can find TeddsARTWorks.net, who's Ted Artworks on Facebook and on Instagram. So definitely follow us, get to know us, reach out. Definitely, we're both approachable. Definitely figure out what Ted's doing. He's got a lot going on. Always a great energy to be around. So, and any final words from you, Ted?
No, just thank you very much. I've enjoyed it, and thank you again, everybody that tuned in. So,
Absolutely.
be
All right.
well.
Yes, be well, and I will see you all next week. Good night.
Thank you.